so out of shape. Greetings, I'm Shad, and I have no idea if this is going to work. I hope you can hear me. It's a bit windy, so I'm not sure if the sound quality is going to be any good, and I don't know how well the receiver is going to work at a distance, so bear with me. And of course, I guess if you can't hear me, I'll just do a voiceover anyway. But we are going to look at flourishes. Now, a sword flourish is where you twirl the sword around, spin around, and you make it look kind of, you show off basically. There is a kind of a misconception to the fact that sword flourishes are completely useless. Now, they are useless in a battle, that's true, okay? But does that mean you shouldn't learn how to do them? I think there's actually some significant benefits you gain from learning how to do a flourish. And before we continue, I'll answer the questions a question that I'm fairly confident will come up as to what the hell is this thing behind me. I built this for my kids for Christmas, and so it's a castle fort. Now that's out of the way, back to flourishes. Now, I do have a background in martial arts, but I am out of shape and out of practice. I haven't really trained, in quite a while. Look at me from the side. Do I look different to you? But I still have the muscle memory, and I'm perfectly capable of teaching what I know. So why would you want to learn how to flourish? Well, the first thing, and this might be one of the most important reasons why you would want to know how to do a flourish, because it looks awesome. They really do. They just look phenomenal, okay? And so if you want to show off, and this is actually also a historical thing, linked to Matt Easton's video where he talks about flourishes a bit. The whole subject isn't flourishes. He's doing a review on fights in the Game of Thrones, but he talks about flourishes there. Very instructive stuff. And so yes, why would you want to do a flourish? Well, to show off, okay? To intimidate your opponent. The other thing is, flourishes, I feel, actually you gain a significant benefit from knowing how to flourish in terms of just gaining confidence with the sword in your hand. Now also, you gain proficiency with the sword. Now what do I mean when I say proficiency? In my mind, when I say proficiency, I'm talking about one, comfort in the hand, how comfortable the sword is in your hand when you use it, but two, you get an intrinsic understanding of where the sword is, even when you're not looking at it. So you can go really close to your head without looking at it, so you can pass it. Basically, it becomes an extension of your arm. The more familiar you become with the sword, the safer it will be when you use it, because you just instinctively know where the blade is, even when you're not looking at it. And flourishes really help out with this level of proficiency. Okay, so when it comes to flourishes, most people understand, this one. It's fairly easy and straightforward, and honestly, it doesn't look that impressive because one, everyone can do it, and it's a bit awkward. The motion doesn't go with it. And of course, there's this one. This one is also awkward, but you can get away with doing it a bit faster. The problem with this one is very awkward, and the blade doesn't want to go in that motion. And so the way that is correct to do this full kind of flourish that I'm trying to share with you is that once you do the first swing, you go, and then you bring it under like this. See where it hits my arm? So I'll do it from this side. You swing it once, bring it under. So I just practice that motion, like that. So you're holding the sword and just swing under. When you get it to this position, this is where it can get tricky, but honestly, this is actually far easier. All this is far easier than you would think, but it does take practice to build up the coordination and the muscle memory. So once you get it in this position, you're going to twist your body and let it fall down. And so when it comes up, twist, fall. And so what it means is when it comes up here, the blade is actually going to continue moving, and so it's actually like it's doing a bottom loop. So instead of getting caught here, it continues on and you bring it to that side. And so you go like that. So down, under, hit your armpit, and then you go around. And so you're cradling it in your armpit, just like this. So when it gets there, you hit it, twist your body and let it fall. So around, under, twist, fall. And then around like that. and then you just keep it going. Repeat the process. Rinse and repeat. And it's that easy. So going over the steps again, I mean, you can start with a regular twirl like that, but you can go straight into it and just go into your armpit. So process in, twist, fall. In, twist, fall, and then you just keep it going. And it looks pretty cool. So around like that. Now, if you want to do a switch over, when it goes to the under the armpit move, so this is where you're swinging it to your armpit right here, before you twist and do, you let go and you swing it around. So instead of under the armpit, let go and try and grab it. Like I said, I'm out of practice, so. And then you can switch to doing the underarm one. And then it's easy to come back, just like that. Ta-da! Now to the dual sword flourish. Now this one, like, yes, it's really good for learning, you know, proficiency, coordination, but I mean, there are examples of people, you know, doing double sword fighting and stuff, but as Skylegrim pointed out in a good video where he was talking with his HEMA instructors, the problem with your offhand sword being so big, it hits the main one, it crosses over, you can't get in close enough and do, you know, the close grappling, fencing, blocking kind of moves because it's too long. So you would rarely ever use two swords like this. And if you did, one sword would act like a shield. This one would be there for defense, this one would be there for attacking. So you would block, kind of attack, and I think there's rarely ever the case where you do these big two hits. I guess you could, but anyway. So the dual sword flourish is actually the exact same motion as the single one, except we're doing it in both hands. And so if you're, you know, right-handed or left-handed and you're better with one hand than not, it takes a bit of practice to learn how to do this motion with the other hand. And admittedly, this is more awkward in my left hand than in my right. So it just doesn't flow as easily. And this does take practice to build up the coordination, but you just repeat the process and interlayer them. So each twirl isn't done at the exact same time because they'll hit each other. So you do one after the other. You go 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, just like that. And there you go. So there's no real more technique in this one, but you do need to practice to learn the coordination. And finally, the last flourish you saw me do with the sword one, it's very, very simple. It's just you're swinging the sword like this. That's all it is, but then you're interlaying it with the other sword. So when you do that, you just do it with two hands. And then you can just speed it up, like that. And then you can switch between the two. Look at that. So there you go, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something, and I hope it helps you out if you actually do want to learn how to perform sword flourishes. Yeah, I chopped my hand off. Hey, got it! I'm gonna chop my leg off. Yes, yes, yes. Throwing my shoulder out. Ta-da! I got hair in my tongue. Oh, save me, save me! Will somebody please save me? Never fear, dear lady, for I shall save you. Don't worry, I am coming. Ow!